Welcome to Space Matrix. Please subscribe and hit the bell icon for more updates. The final flight on Air Force One wasn't a victory lap, it was a retreat. On January 20th, 2021, Donald J. Trump landed in Florida, stripped of presidential power. The roar of the crowd was gone, replaced by the hush of uncertainty at Mar-a-Lago. He skipped his successor's inauguration, breaking tradition and signaling turbulence ahead. The Trump era wasn't over. It was just changing form. Now Trump was a private citizen, surrounded by loyalists, but without the machinery of government. Gone were the daily briefings and instant power. His days became golf, meetings, and relentless focus on the 2020 election. He claimed the election was stolen, a narrative that fueled his grip on the Republican Party. Every statement and rally was calculated to project strength, but vulnerability simmered beneath the surface. Legal and financial threats, once held at bay, now closed in. Trump faced lawsuits, investigations, and mounting financial pressure. The descent from power was abrupt, a plunge into a battlefield of his own making. The world watched, wondering, was this the end or just an intermission? Every move was scrutinized, every word amplified. For Trump, the quiet life was never an option. The show, in some form, had to go on. Trump's post-presidency began with a legal onslaught. New York prosecutors intensified probes into the Trump Organization, investigating potential fraud and financial misconduct. Civil and criminal cases multiplied, targeting Trump and his family. He fought back with delays and counterattacks, but the legal machinery pressed on. Lawsuits over the January 6th riot and election interference in Georgia added to the pressure. Financially, his properties struggled. Lenders grew wary, and partners distanced themselves. Hundreds of millions in loans loomed, threatening his business empire. The man who built his brand on success now fought to keep it from collapse. Under pressure, Trump reverted to his old playbook: delay, deny, deflect. Legal teams filed endless motions, aiming to exhaust opponents and push consequences into the future. Every investigation became a witch hunt, fueling his political narrative. Financially, he disputed debts and forced adversaries into costly battles, echoing decades-old business tactics. Political action committees raised millions, ostensibly for election defense, but often covering his legal fees. For every accusation, he countered with claims of corruption and bias. He never accepted responsibility, instead painting himself as a victim and martyr. This strategy galvanized his base, turning personal crises into collective grievances. Trump's evasion wasn't just defense, it was an offensive to undermine institutions. He shattered norms for former presidents, showing that with enough followers, accountability could be dodged. The result, a political fortress built on grievance and a system forced into unfamiliar territory. The only truth that mattered was the one he declared. Trump refused to fade away, remaining the gravitational force in the GOP. His endorsement became the ultimate prize, demanding absolute loyalty and punishing dissent. The party's identity shifted from policy to allegiance, deepening internal fractures. Leaders wavered between criticism and compliance, leaving the GOP without a clear vision. Trump's focus on the 2020 election fueled distrust in democracy, spreading conspiracy theories and division. Bipartisan cooperation vanished. Every issue became a culture war. Just as his influence seemed to wane, he'd reemerge, dominating headlines and freezing the political field. The specter of a 2024 run kept the nation in suspense. American politics became a waiting game, held hostage by one man's next move. Trump's post-presidency exposed cracks in American leadership. Traditional norms, graceful exits, respect for democracy were discarded. His refusal to concede and attacks on legitimacy eroded faith in the system. Republican leaders, fearing his base, prioritized survival over principle, creating a leadership vacuum. Internationally, allies questioned America's reliability as internal divisions deepened. The US appeared unstable, its moral authority weakened. Trump proved that influence could outlast official power, straining the system's foundations. The balance of American leadership was tipping under the weight of personality-driven politics. Trump's relationship with the media became a relentless feedback loop. Banned from Twitter, he found new ways to dominate headlines through rallies and press releases. Media coverage amplified his narrative, even as it tried to hold him accountable. Supporters retreated into echo chambers, dismissing negative stories as fake news. For others, the constant scandals painted a picture of chaos and crisis. Two realities emerged, rarely intersecting, one of persecution, one of accountability. The media's traditional role as a check on power was weaponized against itself. Scrutiny became a badge of honor for Trump's base, fueling his movement. The national narrative unraveled, leaving facts up for debate. As of August 2025, the future of American leadership is uncertain. Trump's saga of legal battles and political maneuvering has redefined the rules. The old model of steady, unifying leadership feels obsolete. Institutions are under strain, and the nation is more divided than ever. The central question: can democracy withstand this pressure, or has the system been permanently altered? The story of Trump after the White House is a stress test for the nation. The only certainty is that the future of American leadership hangs in the balance.